ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरु वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रदाता सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तुभ्यः। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशकारिणे। Okay, so I want somebody to read the Ohe Vaishnava Thakur songs, this translation. So, any volunteer, you can raise your hand and you can unmute and you know read the translation. Anybody?
Mataji, can I read it?
Yeah. Please,
Hare
Maheshwar.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. Yeah. Please read. See
O
with the
Venerable,
flash.
yes, Mataji. O Venerable Vaishnava, devotee of Krishna, O ocean of mercy, be merciful unto your servant. Give me the share of your lotus feet and purify me. I hold on to your lotus feet. Teach me to control my six passions, rectify my six faults, bestow upon me the six qualities, and offer unto me the six kinds of holy association. I do not find the strength to carry on alone the Sankirtana of the holy name of Hari. Please bless me by giving me just one drop of faith with which to attain the great treasure of the holy name of Krishna. Krishna is yours. You have the power to give him to me. I am simply your servant running behind you, shouting, Krishna, Krishna.
Read this also now. The six passions are
Uh,
those.
the six passions are those pertaining towards the mind, anger, the tongue, the stomach, and the genitals. The six faults are overeating, attachment to material things, inability to follow regulative principles, sense gratification, useless idle talk, and impure habits. The six positive qualities are enthusiasm in practicing devotional service, firm faith in devotional process, a strong desire to attain prema bhakti, a favorable service attitude, avoidance of non-devotees, and appreciation of the company of devotees. The six methods of association are to go to an assembly of devotees, to invite devotees into one's home, to discuss and hear devotional topics, to take the Mahaprasada of devotees, and to offer Mahaprasada to devotees.
Thank you, Mukesh. So let's come to today's verse. It is Bhagavad Gita 2.41. व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिर् एके हा कुरु नन्दना बहुशाखा हि अनन्तश्च बुद्धयो अव्यवसायिनम्. Anybody would like to recite? Narmata, you had raised your hand. Anybody else? Anybody would like to recite with me? Haribala, Narmata, Vani,
Hare Krishna Mataji.
you would like to recite?
Yes,
Okay.
Mataji. Devatatika Buddhi Eki Kurunandana Bahushaka Jnanatascha Buddhayo Vyavasasinam.
Is avyavasayinam. Avyavasayinam. Buddhayo avyavasayinam. Severe avyavasayinam. Okay. So will anybody would like to read the word by word translation? First of all of you raise your hands, whoever wants to contribute. So accordingly, I'll call out the names. Okay. Okay, fine. So Narmada, can you read the translation, word by word translation?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
You can,
Vyavasaya Atmika.
1 minute. You can always
Okay.
keep whoever wants to contribute throughout the session, you're available, you can unmute and you can speak. So you keep raised your hand. So whenever I want, I can, ask you to unmute and speak. Okay?
Okay, Mataji.
Okay. Now, please do.
Okay. Vyavasaya Atmika. Resolute in Krishna consciousness. Buddhihi. Intelligence. Ekha. Only one. Iha. In this world. Kurunandana. O beloved child of the Kurus. Bahusakha. Having various branches. He. Indeed. Anantha. Unlimited. Cha. Buddhaya. Intelligence. Avyavasayinam, of those who are not in Krishna consciousness.
Read the
Should
translation
I
also. Yes, just read
Okay,
the
Mataji.
translation alone.
Okay, Mataji. Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched.
Sukham karoti vachalam pangurlangkhayate girim yatkripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatavinam Purimananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. Okay. So here if you see in this particular verse, Vyavasayat Mika Buddhir. So first word is Vyavasayatmika. What is the Prabhupada has translated what? Resolute in Krishna consciousness. That means he is completely convinced that he will follow the path in the Krishna consciousness and he's firmly fixed in Krishna consciousness because his buddhi, his intelligence is fixed in Krishna consciousness. Is anybody from at least Hindi, like what is the meaning of this vyavasay?
Work.
Business, correct, na?
Job.
Business,
Vyavasaya means? Yes, Mataji.
business, vyavasayatma. So here, Krishna is telling that vyavasayatmika buddhi. That means an intelligence which is like just like a businessman. What is the businessman's for? How is businessman's intelligence situated? Mageshwari, how is businessman's intelligence situated?
What he focuses on, like that much.
Okay, Ashmita.
He's always like focused on his goal, like how to grow his business, how to do his business
He's
well.
always focused on his goal and especially profit. He only sees profit and money, and he can do anything to get that profit. For example, he can take for a commodity, he can take 3 times more the money, 4 times more that of money because he's Like, especially nowadays, if you see, the businessman can do anything. Nowadays, even they are going to a certain extent that they are killing also. Correct, right? So, of course, we as a Krishna conscious, devotees, we will not go to that extent, and we are always under the guidance of our authorities. But I'm just telling that a businessman can go to any extent to get his profit. So similarly, for a devotee, his buddhi, I mean to say, this intelligence should be in so focused, like Prabhupada tells here that, and their aim is one. That is, they have a fixed aim in their life. They are not, they are not aimless people. For example, nowadays, if you ask certain teenagers what you want to do, they'll be like, some of the teenagers are like completely blank, and some of them are so focused that immediately they will tell that, I want to become a software engineer, I want to become nowadays fashion designing, want to become a model, or want to become so and so thing. So they have a aim in their life. Similarly, for a Krishna conscious person, his intelligence should be like that of a businessman. That means not always thinking that how can I progress in my Krishna consciousness? What is my goal? First of all, one should understand that what is their goal, right, in our spiritual life. So I want all of you who are not raising your hands, how many of you have a goal in your spiritual life? You have material goals. Okay, I want to marry. Some of you are in young age, so marriage might be one of your goals. Some of you might have a goal of a nice job. Some of you might have so many material goals might be there, like a good lifestyle or anything. But what about the spiritual goal? Like, how many of you have a spiritual goal? And can you please share, like, if you have a goal in your life, like you can either ping or you can unmute and also speak. So,
Mataji, actually, I'm residing in Chennai.
hmm,
So my first, whenever I get independent, I feel like I should visit Mathura, Dwaraka, and the ISKCON in North India. So I have to see Radha Krishna as in their born place and in their where their feet has touched the ground. I have to visit that ground, and I want to be there, and I want to smell that air, and I want to feel the food what they have eaten. I feel like that, Mataji.
that's very nice. Like, you want to visit Dham, that is your spiritual goal that you have now.
Yes, Mataji.
And what about others? Okay, Haribala has typed here. I want to pray being selfless, Mataji. Now, even when I try, I still do prayers for material things. Okay, that will happen with time. The more you advance, the more you get purified, and the more we understand, like how we understand that these material things are temporary, and we don't ask for that. So, anyways, as the class progresses, we'll speak about it, what you have written, Haribala. And anybody else, like Harini, you have any goals, any spiritual goal which you'd like to share with us?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hmm.
Currently, I want to connect more. Like right now, I'm doing my college and like getting very distracted and like getting very focused with work. So I want to connect more to the Lord. Like so, right now that should be my goal.
Okay, okay. So, Harini, where you are doing your college?
I am from Bangalore. I am Ashmita's friend. So she,
Okay, 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 okay.
yeah.
Okay, so you want to connect. As of now, you're exploring the spiritual life. So
I
you want
visit
to know.
Yes, Mataji. I visit here in Bangalore ISKCON like a couple of times, but
Okay.
yeah. So
So
I
any
don't.
spiritual practices you have taken up to?
A few years back, I used to like actually attend Bhagavad Gita classes, which was conducted in Bangalore ISKCON,
Hmm.
like when I was in ninth or 10th grade, and then I completely discontinued. Like everybody shifted, Mataji's went to different places, so after that,
Hmm.
classes stopped happening. So after that, I couldn't really connect them, and then I got busy with college and stuff like that. So like completely drifted apart. And then Ashmita went to Chennai, and then she spoke a lot about ISKCON there. So I was very curious to see and know what it is.
That's very nice. So you can get connected with us in this online platform here,
Yes,
and we can help you.
sure, Mataji. One
Okay.
day I will come Chennai ISKCON. I want to come once.
Definitely. Please come. Please come.
Yes, ma'am.
Always welcome. Okay. So, yeah. So, others, anybody else would like to share? Any aim you have, any spiritual goal you have in your life, or any desire that you want to fulfill? And how strong is that desire? Nobody. So what should I understand? You don't have any spiritual goal. Narmada, Komal, Vani,
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. Actually, I have a spiritual goal, which is to work in the whole day in Krishna consciousness. Now I'm working in office. Remaining time, I'm somewhat reading books and chanting and doing something and coming to temple, and that's okay. But I'm not sure that while I'm working in the office, I am working for Krishna. I'm not sure about that. So I want to work like I want to be in Krishna consciousness
So you
whole day.
think when you take care of your material things, it is not Krishna conscious things.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, I feel like that. But also I've heard in Prabhupada's lecture that while working also we should be Krishna consciousness. We have to be in the consciousness like for whom I'm working. Like that we have to be in that consciousness. For Krishna I'm working. Like that we have to be in that consciousness,
Then
but
why
I'm
you
not
are not
sure.
able to make your work Krishna? Like why you are not able to see everything as
Yeah,
a
I
service to
uh,
Krishna?
yes, I'm spending some time for him, like in the office or whenever I have work I do, and whenever even though while I'm working, my hands will be working, but my mind will be saying some names of Krishna, like Keshav, Madhava, Madhusudana, something like that. My mind will be reciting some names of Krishna, but still, if I have so much work to do, I'm getting little bit distracted out of that Krishna's names, Mataji.
Okay, Narmada. Okay, I'll speak about this also in today's session. Like
Okay,
we will
Mataji.
see.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, everybody. So moving forward. So here, oh beloved child of Kurus, that is Ekeha Kuru Nandana. Kuru Nandana means the child of the Kuru. The intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. So if you're avyavasayanam, if your intelligence is focused on many things, then what happens? You are irresolute, like you don't have any aim in your life, or you cannot focus on anything. Actually, if you see, nowadays it's an age of multitasking. We do multitasking. Mm, to some extent, I can tell, okay, fine, multitasking can help. Certain Krishna conscious things we can do multitasking, like when we're cooking, we can hear to a lecture. When you're to shower, you can put a lecture, you can hear. Or when you're getting ready for your college or for your office, you can hear lectures or hear some kirtan. That and all is fine. But when we hear Krishna is telling about intelligence, one a person, like for example, when he is going in a car, when a person is driving in the car, if you see, for him, when he's driving the car, there are many things he has to do. He has to see that, okay, if any vehicle is coming from the back, and for example, he's carrying so many family members with him. So some of the family members can ask him to stop in a place, get a water bottle, get some, food to eat, or so many things might be going on, right? He may get he may get a phone call, he might disconnect because of it. He's driving, but there will be so many distraction happenings when he's driving from one place to the another place. But when he's driving, no doubt he's taking care of so many things. Like he's busy in, like, driving properly, taking everybody safely, seeing so many glasses. I don't know driving, but I know that, okay, there are three glasses which he has to see, right? Some rear glass and so many other glasses, left, right, everywhere he has to see, and he has to be alert. But in that driving mode, is he forgetting his destination because of any distraction? Because his family members may ask for so many things while he's driving to a particular destination. Is he forgetting his destination? No, he's not forgetting his destination. He is focused that he has to reach this particular destination, at that he has to go to that particular place. For example, Chennai to Bangalore or Chennai to Mumbai. He does not forget that he has to go from so and so place to so and so place. So that means he is focused. No doubt he is taking care of so many things on the way, but he is not forgetting his destination. Similarly, when we are also leading our life, when we are doing something, right, we have to understand that no doubt there are so many things which may seem that they are not Krishna conscious things. It may be material things, like, for example, taking care of job, taking care of family, taking care of children, taking care of husband, or, taking care of a mother or anybody else in whatever you do. Like you're studying, for example, studying everything. If a person is doing everything for the satisfaction of the Lord, then that particular thing is no more a material thing, it becomes a spiritual thing. But that depends on me, that whether I am categorizing all these things as like whether I am categorizing it for my own sense gratification or for the satisfaction of Krishna. Is my selfishness involved in doing all these things, or Krishna's satisfaction is involved in doing all these things? So, if selfishness is ruling over satisfaction of Krishna, then that is for my own sense gratification. Then that will be a material thing. That will no more be a spiritual thing. But whereas satisfaction of Krishna is taking higher priority than my selfishness, then that is a spiritual thing. Why I'm telling selfishness? Because when we do anything, we always have a material, we are looking after material benefit, right? For example, when you are counting the money, you have some cash. How many times do you count? At least one time is not enough. Two times you count, so that because money is very valuable, right? So we count it so, uh, I mean, to say with so much of, I can tell you, so precision, we count the money. But when it comes to Krishna consciousness, we take it very lightly. Why? Because we do not know the value of Krishna consciousness. We are still not having that faith in Krishna consciousness. That by doing Krishna consciousness, my whole life is successful. And if we read the purport, anybody would like to read the purport? Hariwala, you'll read the purport?
Yes, Mataji. A strong faith that by Krishna consciousness one will be elevated to the higher perfection of life is called Vyasatmika intelligence. The Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela states that श्रद्धा
श्रद्धा
शब्दे
शब्दे विश्वास कहे सुदृढ़ सुदृढ़ निश्चय कृष्ण भक्ति कोइले सर्व धर्मकृत होया.
faith means unflinching trust in someone sublime. When one is engaged in the duties of Krishna consciousness, he need not act in relationship to the material world with obligations to the family, tradition, humanity, or nationality. Fruitive activities are the engagements of one's reaction from past good or bad deeds. When one is awake in Krishna consciousness, he no longer endeavor for good results in his activities. When one is situated in Krishna consciousness, all activities are on the absolute plane, for they are no longer subject to dualities like good and bad. The highest perfection of Krishna consciousness is renunciation of the material conception of life. This state is automatically achieved by progressing in Krishna consciousness.
Did you see what Prabhupada is writing? When one is awake in Krishna consciousness, he need no longer endeavor for good results in his activity. So that means he's leaving his selfishness. He's not thinking that what gain I have for doing a particular activity. He is just doing it for the satisfaction of the Lord. He's doing it for his satisfaction. For example, when we are doing a job, for whose satisfaction am I doing the job? The job is done for the satisfaction of the Lord. For example, I give this example very often in my classes, in my talks with the different devotees. I keep giving this example that Arjuna was fighting in the battlefield and Krishna was there and he was fighting. So, during the fight, whether what did Krishna tell to Arjuna? Krishna said to Arjuna that Mam Anusmara Yudhyaja. You remember me and you fight. So you always remember that you are what is the meaning of remember me? Remember means always remember that you're doing this for me. You are a nimitta matra. You are just an instrument for this war to happen. So similarly, when we are doing our work, we have to remember for whom am I doing and for what I am doing. Why am I doing? Why am I doing and for whom am I doing? So why am I doing when it comes to a purpose? When you're doing a job, that means like I am doing this job because I have to maintain my family. I cannot just simply sit and wait for the things to happen. Yes, Krishna will provide everything, but I have to work for that for that to achieve it. Like Krishna will give me everything, but for me to get that thing, I need to work. Krishna will provide unless and until we also do some endeavor. So our endeavor is also important to achieve that particular thing. So yes, I need to work and to maintain my family, to maintain me, and yes, some amount of to be in this material world, we need some money to survive. And also with the same money, we can do even service to the Lord. Right? So that is why we work. And for whom am I working? For Krishna I am working. Because ultimately, when I am taking care of me and my family, my dependents and everything, that's automatically it becomes a Krishna conscious thing. It doesn't become any material thing. It only see when it comes to Krishna consciousness is not a simply a mechanical thing. It's a way of life. The how you think, your intentions are more important than the actions. I often tell Krishna consciousness is all about your intention, what you are thinking, what you are doing, whether everything what you are thinking is for the benefit, for the satisfaction of the Lord. If your intention is pure, then automatically action will also be purified. And then the next line is when one is situated in Krishna consciousness, all activities are on the absolute platform, for they are no longer subject to the dualities like good and bad. That means when I was telling you that when you are doing any activity, if it is not no more in the no more the intentions are no more for your own satisfaction, then you will automatically become transcendental. That is for the service of the Lord. It will no more be in the material platform. And The highest perfection of Krishna consciousness is renunciation of material conception of the life. What is the material conception of the life? Anybody can give me example? What do you think is a material conception of life?
I am this body.
Okay. Anything more?
Like we are attached to our relatives, family, attachment.
The material conception of life means what? Material conception means what? Just think. Everything I want for my own sense gratification. I will always look what I will get from that relationship. For my own benefit, is there anything? When I get into a relationship, I'll always think, for me, for my benefit, is there anything there in that relationship? Secondly, when I eat food or I want to make anything, I'll always think that what I like, what I prefer to eat, and accordingly I will cook. Correct? So these are all material concept. What can be the spiritual concept of life? If I have to spiritualize all these things which I said you, like relationship. Second is, for example, the food you eat. Third is the work you do. I'm just giving you three examples. Can anybody tell how can you spiritualize these three things? Just now we discussed, so you can tell.
Food we can take prasadam.
Mm-hmm.
Prasadam we can have instead of
Prasadam. And instead of thinking that what I will eat, you can think that what will be the most pleasing thing to Krishna. Okay, I want to eat this thing, but I will not have it unless and until I offer it to the Lord. So I spiritualize this thing. The work which I do, I give everything. Like I give the starting of my work, I dedicate that work to the Lord, and after the completion of the work, the result of that work also I dedicate to the Lord. For example, when you work, you may get some appreciation as well as some criticism. So when it is criticism, you do not blame the Lord. Oh, I was doing work for you, and because of which I'm getting criticism. No, when I do work and when I am criticized for certain things, that time what happens? I I understand that okay, this is because of my fault. But when I get some remuneration from other work which I'm doing or some benefit, that is because of the Lord's mercy, and I dedicate that to the Lord. For example, I get a promotion, I immediately thank the Lord and I dedicate my promotion or my hike in my salary or anything to the Lord. And you were telling about Hariparada, I still go and I ask for the material things. So when we ask, so here Prabhupada is telling that the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness is the renunciation of material conception of the life. So actually, how do I renounce the material things which you are asking to the Lord? Just do one thing. No need to leave your desires, rather dovetail your desire. That means you think what you are asking for the Lord. Instead of telling to the Lord, oh Lord, give me what I am asking for, like at least fulfill my desire that you have. Instead, you should ask that if you so desire, Lord, if you desire, then let this happen. If it is good for my Krishna consciousness, let it happen. So the focus, like I was just thinking that, one pointed, when I have this one pointed intelligence, how can I make my intelligence one pointed? How can it be just focused on Krishna consciousness? The first thing for the focus is that the F stands for the faith. That I must have faith that yes, by surrender to Krishna, by surrendering unto the lotus feet of Krishna, everything is done very nicely. So even though I have some material desires, so whatever may be the desire, if Krishna wants, he will fulfill. And I should have a firm faith that whatever Krishna does for me, that is the best. Right? So that faith I must develop in me that whatever Krishna is doing in my life is a perfect arrangement of the Krishna. And then next paragraph, can anybody read?
I'll read Mataji.
Okay.
The resolute purpose of a person in Krishna consciousness is based on knowledge. Mataji, could you please read that line?
Vasudevah sarvam iti sa mahatma sudurlava.
A person in Krishna consciousness is the is the rare good soul who knows perfectly that Vasudeva or Krishna is the root of all manifested causes. As by watering the root of a tree, one automatically distributes water to the leaves and branches. So, by acting in Krishna consciousness, one can render the highest service to everyone, namely self, family, society, country, humanity, etc. If Krishna is satisfied by one's actions, then everyone will be satisfied.
Isn't it interesting? If Krishna is satisfied by one's action, then everyone will be satisfied. We think that, okay, if I work for Krishna, I'll be in problem. If I come to temple, I'll be have to some troublesome. It will be very troublesome for me. Or if I have to do certain activity for Krishna, then I don't know. I want to do, but I don't know if my parents will agree or not. The things will work out or in the way which I want or not. What my friends will tell. So here Prabhupada is telling that if Krishna is satisfied by one's action, then everyone will be satisfied. Like here Prabhupada is giving an example. By watering the root of the tree, automatically the water reaches the leaves and the branches. So just by satisfying Krishna, everyone will be satisfied. Because when you take care of when Krishna, when you take care of your spiritual life, Krishna takes care of your material life. Right? So when Krishna is satisfied, then everyone will be satisfied. Like you will be able to understand that, Krishna is taking care of your life because you are giving utmost focus and utmost importance to your spiritual life. So Krishna is reciprocates to you by taking care of your material life. The next, so focus, I was telling, the first is faith, second is operate. Operate in what? Make your actions as Krishna conscious. And how can you make your actions Krishna conscious? It's a very quick check. When I'm telling about focus, focus means FOCUS. So we will see FOCUS. So we are in the O. So wherein we operate in Krishna consciousness or we make our actions Krishna conscious. So there is a simple thumb rule for acting, for understanding whether I am acting in Krishna consciousness or. So the first thumb rule is that anything which makes me closer to Krishna, that action is a Krishna conscious action. But any action which is making me away from Krishna, that is not a Krishna conscious action. So you have to decide it very carefully what action I am taking, whether it is making me dear to Krishna or it is making me far from Krishna. So either you become dear to Krishna by choosing your action, or you become far from Krishna by choosing an action which is forbidden for Krishna consciousness. So choice is yours. Krishna consciousness is all about choices. Next, can you read paragraph? Anybody?
I'll continue, Mataji.
Okay.
Service in Krishna consciousness is, however, best practiced under the able guidance of a spiritual master who is a bona fide representative of Krishna, who knows the nature of the student and who can guide him to act in Krishna consciousness. As such, to be well versed in Krishna consciousness, one has to act firmly and obey the representative of Krishna, and one should accept the instructions of a bona fide spiritual master as one's mission in life. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur instructs us in his famous prayers for the spiritual masters as follows. Mataji, read it.
Yasha prasada bhagavat prasado Yasha prasada nagati tutopi bhayastavam tasya yashasvi samyam Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinandam.
By satisfaction of the spiritual master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes satisfied. And by not satisfying the spiritual master, there is no chance of being promoted to the plane of Krishna consciousness. I should therefore meditate and pray for his mercy 3 times a day and offer my respectful obeisances unto him, my spiritual master. I'll finish it, Mataji.
Yes, no, we'll stop here. So if you see over here, the third rule when I was talking about focus, first is faith, second is operate in Krishna consciousness, C is cultivate Krishna consciousness under the guidance of the spiritual master. So that means when we are talking about Krishna conscious, acting in Krishna consciousness, how do I know that what will please Krishna and what will not please Krishna? That is why we need a spiritual master who will give us an instruction. And based on his instruction, when we follow Krishna consciousness or when we perform Krishna consciousness, that becomes the most pleasing to Krishna. For example, if you see, like in the scriptures, we have an example that Madhavendra Puri, he had two disciples. One is Ishwara Puri and another one is Ramachandra Puri. Now, Ramachandra Puri, when Madhavendra Puri was about to leave his life, like when he was on his deathbed, so at that time, he was remembering Krishna. He was feeling deep separation from Krishna. And he was just shouting, "Oh, where is Krishna? Oh, Govinda, where are you? Oh, Madhusudana. Oh, Krishna, where are you?" So Ramachandra Puri comes and he starts blaspheming his own spiritual master. He tells that, that you are finding Krishna. Just chant the holy names, just meditate on Krishna. Krishna will be with you. Why are you shouting like that? So when Madhavendra Puri understands that he is blaspheming his own spiritual master, he tells, "I don't want to see you. Get out from here. If you are there in front of me, I cannot remember Krishna. So better you go away from me." Since he blasphemed his spiritual master, he became so materialistic and he became so lustful that he could not, he became completely, he started offending even more devotees. And to such an extent that he started even offending Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There is a pastime in Chaitanya Charitamrita, where in Ramachandra Puri, once he goes to Puri to meet Mahaprabhu, to go and he sees Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu, as you know, that he is a Bhakta Varsala. He likes to satisfy the devotees. So devotees in Puri, they made some opulent prasadam for the Lord. And Lord, in order to satisfy them, he was having the prasadam. And he is none other than Krishna himself. So why can't he honor on this prasadam? There is no reason to stop him from having the prasadam. But Ramachandra Puri, he goes and he blasphemes the Lord also. He says that, "Oh, you are a sannyasi and you are simply pretending in front of everybody and having so much of sweets, so many things. It is not at all good for you." And then later he started reducing even more food, even more prasadam he stopped. And at the time, Ramachandra Puri, he arrived again there and he said that, "Oh, there are so many ants in your home and maybe that you are eating a lot of sweets. It's not good for you. You're a sannyasi and you're doing all these things." So like that, he started blaspheming with even the Supreme Lord. So offense to a spiritual master leads to fall down in Krishna consciousness. Whereas Ishwara Puri, he was such a faithful servant of the, Madhavendra Puri. During the last days of Madhavendra Puri, when Madhavendra Puri could not even go to do his basic necessities, like basic taking care of his own life, like, doing evacuation or, doing menial service. So Ishwar Puri started doing menial service uh, Madhavendra Puri. And so Madhavendra Puri became so satisfied with him that he blessed him, and that blessing led Ishwar Puri to become the spiritual master of the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So you see, when you satisfy the spiritual master, you achieve all success. And actually, this is the secret mantra for advancement in Krishna consciousness. If you want to advance in Krishna consciousness, you have to please your spiritual master. Now, most of us do not have a direct interaction to serve our spiritual master. Then what can we do? We serve the disciples of the spiritual master. We serve the disciples of the spiritual master and also God brothers of our spiritual master. So what happens in that way? We become dear to Krishna because the spiritual master is the via medium to please Krishna. The path to Krishna's heart is via my spiritual master. So focus, I was telling you, FOCU, and then U is uncompromising. Now, when I tell this particular verse speaks about firm determination in Krishna consciousness. That is, we should be firmly determined that whatever may be, I will never leave this path of Krishna consciousness, no matter for anything. Like I was telling, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, for a businessman, his profit is everything and he can do anything to achieve that profit. So similarly, for us to become Krishna conscious, we should be ready to surrender to the Lord to 100%, and always remember that this is my only path in Krishna consciousness and I will never deviate from this. No matter so many obstacles can come in my path of Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is not easy. There will be so many obstacles, there will be so many issues, so many problems will be there from family, from friends, from my own. Like I may be interested, I may have some anarthas, and I may become and some anarthas may be there, and I may become very distracted by watching so many reels or some movies or so many things. But whatever is unfavorable for my bhakti, I have to get away from there. Sometimes my own mind may challenge, oh, I don't feel like chanting, I don't have any desire to chant. So at that time, what I have to do, I have to be very, very firm. And at least if I'm not able to get that inspiration from me to chant, at least I should approach to one of my senior devotees who can help me and who can guide me and who can inspire me to chant the holy names. So we have some spiritual doctors. So we should be ready to immediately go to the spiritual doctor, right? So, and that way we become very uncompromising. S is finally service. So, if I want to be determined in Krishna consciousness, I should always surround myself with service. Sometimes coming physically and doing the service, and taking each and everything, every activity in my life, starting from morning, getting up to that of the sleeping, to that of eating, to that of doing anything, cleaning or anything also, thinking that I'm doing for the service of the Lord. So always becoming service oriented, or thinking whatever I'm doing and dedicating everything, all my actions for the service of the Lord. For example, the gopis of Vrindavan, it is mentioned in the Bhagavatam that whatever they were doing, taking care of children, milking the cows, cleaning the house, or taking care of husband or cooking, anything, they were always Krishna conscious. Like they were doing everything very nicely and perfectly also, the gopis, because at night they used to go for a rasa dance. So they were doing everything very perfectly so that the other family members, they won't doubt. So they were doing each and every activity for the satisfaction of the Lord. So becoming service oriented and doing everything for the satisfaction of the Lord. So in that way, you can become focused on Krishna consciousness and you can become determined in Krishna consciousness. So with this, I will stop here. Anybody has any questions, comment? So you're welcome. Hare Krishna. Any questions, any comments? Or was it too boring for all of you? You're feeling sleepy? So,
Mataji, I have something to share.
yes,
So,
yes, please.
last weekend, I had gone to my sister's house just to spend
Mhm,
some time. So that
mhm.
2 days, I didn't chant at all, even though I felt like I should chant. But just because I was surrounded with everyone, I was enjoying with them. I didn't chant for Saturday and Sunday. But in my heart, I felt that like guilt that I didn't chant. But that time, I didn't like. I was like, okay, I'll chant later. I'll chant later, and I didn't chant. So in this way, sometimes I even though I know that I should do, I don't do. So what how should I like improve myself?
First of all, Haribala, when
So
you have
that
a resolute resolute in purpose. When you tell that I don't chant, that means you are not fixed. Like, for example, all of us have taken vows. Most of us who are initiated, few of us, we have taken vow that unless and until I chant 16 rounds, I'll not sleep. So chanting 16 rounds has become like for us, it has become like the most minimum thing that I should do in my spiritual life. For example, Haribala, you should make a make a vow that I don't know how many rounds do you chant?
5 rounds, Mataji.
5 rounds. So I think you should increase also. You are doing Krishna consciousness for a much longer time. Maybe by next Ekadashi, you should try to chant 8 rounds. So that 8 rounds, what you chant, make it as an uncompromisable thing. For example, you eat. Do you forget to eat? Or do you feel like ever I don't want to eat and you leave it for 1 or 2 days? You
No.
do it, right? You do it, right?
Yes.
So similarly, you should take it chanting also. It's a food for the soul. If you don't feed your soul will starve. Starve from Krishna consciousness. So don't make your soul starve. If you make your soul starve, again another birth, death, old age, and disease. Another birth, another suffering. Already we are suffering, and no need for me, needless to tell, in what all ways we are suffering. So why we have to elongate that suffering? Instead, we can end the business in this life itself and go back home, back to Godhead. So make it as a food for Krishna, food for your soul, and do it every single day without any compromise. So, what do you say, Haribala? Will you be able to follow?
Yes, Mataji. I will try.
Not try. If you try, then you will not do. You should tell, I will do. That is what is resolute in purpose in today's verse, determination. So, what is a revised answer?
I will do.
Yes. Good. Anybody else? Any question or any comment? Okay, if nothing, thank you so much for joining this today's session. And